Now your life doesn't have to be super wholesome, but you do have to have that balance. And that is what I am all about. It's workout time. Today we're focusing on your core and your lower body. All you're gonna need is your mat. Let's do this. This one is a great one for when you're not feeling as motivated as normal, because it starts off lying down. And I just feel like it's just a nice way to start. But it's not super intense in terms of how tired you're gonna feel, but it definitely does work your core, it definitely does work your glutes, and it definitely works your hamstrings. So it's a great one that's focused much more on isolation. So it's good if you're a little bit fatigued, nice to wrap up the end of the week. All right, let's warm up. So first one, we're going for a lower body twist. So here, trying to squeeze your core, keep your knees and feet together, and we're just gonna rock and roll from side to side. Now with this, you might feel yourself kind of shimmy down the mat a little bit. If that's the case, it's okay. You want to try and keep your core switched on to lift your butt up off the floor. Use your hands to help stabilize you so you don't wobble down the mat too much, all right? Trying to keep your hips up nice and high. All right, next one, we're going to go into straight leg sit-ups. So legs are out nice and straight, and here we're just aiming to touch your toes. With this, it's important, don't bring your hands back up over here. Always keep them in front of your face, down towards your feet. So this helps just to stretch out through the hamstrings, switch on through the core, open up through the lower back. Now, if you bring your hands up over here, it actually starts to switch off the core because the ribs break, which is not what we want. Good, and then the next one, arms out wide, and you can do this palms facing up. You want to imagine you're going to get your foot to touch your palm. So this is a combo. It's a stretch as well as a warm up. So we're warming up through the core, the obliques, stretching out through the hamstrings and lower back. Man, I love this one. And like just these first three, I think it's just such a great way to get into a workout when you're tired and a little bit fatigued, because you're lying down, so it doesn't take a whole lot of energy. You're not jumping around everywhere. You're not like jump squat, jumping lunges. You know, it's none of that. But it's a good way to get your muscles warm, to get your body switched on. All right, next one we're going to go back to the start. We go back to our lower body twist. All right, so twisting from side to side. So by now you should start to have a little bit more flexibility and mobility because we've stretched a little bit. Keeping that those hips up off the floor. Getting that core nice and warm, getting everything switched on. And then the next one, we're going to go to those sit-ups, straight leg sit-ups, stretching out through those hamstrings. We've got a lot of hamstring work today, so we want to make sure that especially those are warm. So straight legs, aiming to touch your toes. Back a bit so you guys can see me. Remember, hands always in front of your face to keep that core switched on. Good. Feels so nice. I think one of my favorite stretches is a calf and hamstring stretch. Especially calves get so tight, or for me anyway. Alright, nice. And last one, arms out nice and wide, aiming to get that foot right over to that hand. So double combo, stretch and warm up. Oh yeah. And the good thing about this workout, your workout is you're all lying down in the whole workout. Nuts. Alright, so if you're following on with my timer, just keep following the timer if you've got your own. The workouts are going to go for 45 seconds each. Alright, so this one is a single leg glute raise, so a lot of focus on glutes and hamstrings today. Here, squeeze your stomach like you're going to do a sit-up, squeeze your butt cheek, and you're going to come up with this. Try to keep the legs level and butt come back down. Drive up and come back down. With this, you want to imagine you're going to pick pelvis up off the floor. Lower back, lower back, lower back, mid back, back down, mid back down, lower back, butt. So you don't want to just arch up, okay? You'll break through the ribs. That's not what we want. We want to make sure you're using that butt muscle. If you find this one too tough, cross one leg over the other and go from there. Keeping your core nice and braced. We're going to do 45 seconds on each leg. And then we swap to the other side, so keeping that leg crossed And you really want to feel that butt muscle, that hamstring working, racing through the core, lifting your butt up first, then your lower back, then your mid back. No arch in the back. You want all the work down here, not in the back. One way that I like to think of it, imagine there's a big button underneath your foot, like a massive one, big button underneath your foot. You're actually not trying to lift up, but you're trying to push that button down. You're trying to push that button down. That'll drive your hips up, and that'll ensure you're working the hamstring and glute, which is what you want. You want those muscles to fire up. Good, alright, next one is double leg bridge. So here, same, imagine you're pushing that button down and you're really squeezing the butt, not the back. So pushing the button down, thrusting the hips up, pushing the button down. What we don't want is this, okay? There's a big arch in the lower back here. That's not what we want. Focusing on pushing the hip, pushing the feet down, push the button down, butt and hamstrings, push the button down. If this is done correctly, it's actually really effective. Push the button down. And like we did the last two workouts, squeeze your butt cheeks together. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. That mind to muscle connection makes a massive difference. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. Good. Alright, the next one we're going to come up, it's just a static hold. So here, keeping the lower back straight, not arched, pushing that button down consistently, squeezing the hamstrings, squeezing your butt cheeks together. I know it's weird to think of your butt cheeks like that, but it makes a world of difference. If you haven't done the last two workouts with us, go back, check them out next time you do a workout, okay? Because you'll see how important that is to really think and activate those muscles. It makes a massive difference. So focusing on squeezing butt cheeks together, butt cheeks together. Imagine you're trying to hold money in between your butt cheeks. Good. Alright, then here, hands underneath your butt, pushing your back down to the floor, legs up in the air, and we've got leg raises. Now with this, you should do not let your lower back lift off the floor, okay? If you do, don't come down as far, and back up. Come down until you feel your lower back lift off the floor. If you're not sure if your lower back is lifting off the floor, put your hands underneath your lower back. You should always feel that pressure on your hands. If you don't feel that pressure on your hands, don't come down as far. Okay? I find this more comfortable, hands underneath my butt, but that's just me. Good, and the next one is a turtle hold. You're gonna tuck those knees, pull them in hard, and then you're gonna reach your hands up as hard as you can and hold here. Now, if you start to feel it in your neck, it means the muscles in your neck are actually weak, okay, and they're trying to compensate and they're getting too fatigued and the core is not strong enough. So what you want to do, interlock, hands behind your neck, not your head, your neck, support that neck. You don't want to crank that neck forward, try to pull from here, let your hands take the weight of your neck and your head, so you're focusing on the core. Imagine you're pushing your back into the floor, drive that back hard into the floor. When you start to feel like you're getting fatigued, crunch those knees up higher, support that neck and head, and then we go back to the start. One leg over, okay, push that button down, drive hamstring and glute, hamstring and glute. Squeeze those butt cheeks together. Oh yeah, squeeze, hamstring and glute. Really focus, thinking on the hamstring and glute, making that mind to muscle connection. It makes a big difference. I know it sounds like something out of like a fairy tale or like Peter Pan, just believe. But no, it actually really makes a big difference. Focusing and thinking on that butt muscle, because the brain connects via the nerve to the right muscle. You get that activation. Good, 45 seconds, and we're going to swap to the other leg. Alrighty, other side, same deal, 45 seconds. Remember, you got that big button underneath the foot, driving the button down to force the hip up, thinking about that butt muscle working. Good. If you find this easy, what you can do is cut the rest out at the bottom. So instead of going all the way down, just go until your clothes touch and come back up. Till your clothes touch, till your pants touch and come back up. Pants touch and come back up. So you're not actually putting any weight or any rest at the bottom of that movement. Focusing on the foot going down, the butt squeezing, and just a soft touch, you really get that burn in the hamstring and in the butt. If you feel the quad, the front of your thigh burning, it means you need to imagine that button more. Same with this one. If you feel the burn here, it's not right. You need to feel it under here. You've got to imagine pushing the feet down. Pushing the feet down. Pushing the feet down. I know this one looks weird, but hey, if you do it properly, it's super effective. I promise you, it works and you feel it. So push the feet down, squeeze the butt. Push the feet down, squeeze the butt, okay? I don't care how silly it looks, it works. It really, really works. Hold, squeeze your butt hard here, squeeze the core so the lower back is flat. You don't want to arch back. Push that button down, push it down. You trust me, like I know this exercise looks so like, I don't even know what the right word is, but it works. Squeeze the butt muscles, push the button down. Body flat. When you start to get fatigued, you can feel your legs shaking. Push that button down harder. Good. Okay, and then here, hands underneath the hips, leg raises, keeping that lower back pressed hard against the floor. Don't let that back arch at all. Good. And of course, don't forget to breathe. Here, when you come up, you're gonna breathe out. Okay, generally speaking, on the harder part of the exercise, the more difficult part, breathe out. Alright, and then here we're going to tuck in hard, reach high, tuck the knees in, and we hold. Try to keep your neck in a straight line, okay? So you're not trying to crank forward, especially if you're using hands. Don't try to crank forward hard, no. Keep your neck in a straight line. Go forward, neck in a straight line. Knees tucked in, chest, upper body pushing up towards your thighs. And 20 seconds. Doing this right, you should feel it in your tummy. Okay, you should feel that back pressed down against the floor. Good. 45 seconds, we hold. Breathe. Good. Woo. Burning. Right, and straight back. You know it. Single leg glute raises. Push that button down. Visualize those butt cheeks working. Feel it in the back of your thighs and that hamstring, that butt muscle, not in the quad. Remember, if you feel it in the front of the thigh, visualize that button. When you start to get fatigued, mentally check back in with yourself, make sure the form is good. Are you still pushing that button down? Are you still squeezing those butt cheeks? Or are you trying to get your lower back to do the work? Good form, paramount. So same deal, squeezing through the hamstring, squeezing through the butt. I think this is such a great workout to do, especially at the end of the week. So that's why it's workout number 3. The goal is to kind of do this on a Thursday or Friday. Great workout to do because it's got a lot of isolation in it, so it means you're really going to promote muscle growth. Okay, you're really going to get the glutes, the hamstrings, the core firing. You're going to build lean muscle there. It's still going to support the increase of your metabolism, but it's not going to drain you. It's not going to drain you mentally. It's not going to drain you physically. So it's something that you can do and be consistent, which is the most important thing, without feeling like you're fighting World War III. All right, then double. Squeeze the butt cheeks, squeeze the core. Super important. Nice. And I think consistency is so important. Now look, obviously I'm a PT, you know, I love training you, and you know, I want to be able to guide you as much as possible. At the end of the day though, I think if you're doing anything, as long as you're not getting injured and you're doing it regularly, you are on the right track. Working out consistently, regularly, is a great way to build discipline and routine, which you can then transfer into other areas of your health routine, like nutrition, okay, like sleep, recovery, daily activity, stress management. All those things are super important. Okay, last one, we go into our hold. Button down, glutes, hamstrings, core, hold, stay nice and straight. Good, remember not the lower back straight. 1, 2. Big ones here, we're all working. And I think it took me a really long time to realize and wrap my head around, you know, the result is important, don't get me wrong, but what is more important is the fact that you do it, you know, the journey that you take and who you become in the process, you know. I think that's such a sweeter and richer goal than just losing some weight. All right, here, hand underneath your hips, leg raises, you know it. So we're actually getting close to the end here. And so you probably notice that this one is not as hard or is not as tiring. You don't get as sweaty as you do from the last couple ones. So move down a touch so you can see. So after this, we've got our turtle hold to finish off, and then we're going to go through our cool downs. Turtle hold is such a funny name. Poor little turtle flipped over. Alright, so tuck those knees in, reach those hands up, straight neck, not cranking too far forward, pulling those thighs in, really working the bottom half and the top half of your core, all the way up through the abs, pushing that lower back hard down into the floor. Last one, we're going to bring it home strong. I'll do it with you. I know your core is burning, mine is as well. If you feel like you can't make it, breathe nice and deep, hold on to your knees for a couple of seconds, recover, let that lactic acid go, and go straight back into it. So only another 10 seconds, you got this. Crunch up a little bit higher just for the last 5. Oh, very nice, well done, very good, very good, very good. Now that the workout is all done, we're actually going to stand up. This is probably the hardest part of the workout, and we're going to go to a modified Cossack squat. Okay, so we've got 3 exercises here. You're just going to try and weight shift down to one side as much as possible, stretching through the inside of the thigh and the hamstring. And with this one, you want to try and have as much weight on the leg that is bending. So we save that other knee that's straight. We don't want to overload it too much. Like when you do the squat, you want to push your butt back so the weight's on your heel. Just think of it like a squat that you're going from side to side, not so much as a lunge. This one, you may need some balance. You're going to cross one knee, one ankle over the knee, push your butt back, bend the knee, and lean forward. You should feel a stretch in the hip. So if you're crossing this leg, you should feel the stretch here. Come forward, alternating sides. Cross this leg, feel the stretch here. Alternating sides. This is to help stretch those glute muscles that you've just worked. Stretching is super important because it helps bring blood, fresh blood, back to the muscle, which aids recovery, which helps build lean muscle. And then the last one we've got is just a reverse lunge. So here, I'm going to step back and alternate from side to side. Step back, alternating from side to side. We're going to go through these 3 one more time, just to completely cool down. Let our muscles switch off so we don't get any seizures or tears. Not good, okay? We've got to make sure that we let these muscles cool down properly, completely, so they don't shorten while they're healing. All right, last one, we go back to the Cossack squat, nice and wide, getting down as low as you can. If you've got good flexibility, control and strength, you can dip a little bit lower. If you start to feel torsion in the knee, point the toe up to the ceiling, come down as low as you can. Point the toe up to the ceiling, come down as low as you can comfortably go. Okay, remember, just work to your body and just go as far down as you feel. Don't need to push it, it's just a cool down. Opposite ankle, push your butt back, lean forward. Opposite ankle to knee, push your butt back, lean forward. If you feel a little bit wobbly with this one, grab onto the wall, grab a chair, something sturdy to hold onto, so you've got a bit of balance. Good, so remember, if you cross the right leg, feel the stretch in the right hip. Cross the left leg, feel the stretch in the left hip. Good. Last one, we're just stepping back into a reverse lunge to finish off. We are almost there. So this should be your last workout for the week. Very, very well done. Now don't forget, okay, exercise is important, but it's not the only thing. If you feel like you're ready to take it to the next step, you can check out some other videos over here, okay? If you feel like you're ready to increase the intensity of the workout, you can check out our next program. I'll see you guys later.